As you guys might know by now, I'm a huge Maureen Johnson fan. And when I say huge, I mean huge. In fact, about a year ago, I made a previous video where I reviewed all of the books Maureen Johnson had written up to that point. However, what we didn't know at the time was that there was going to be a sequel to her latest novel, Sweet Scarlett. I love this book, which isn't surprising because Maureen Johnson is probably my favorite author. It's about a 15-year-old girl named Scarlett Martin who lives in a hotel in New York City. And although this might sound really glamorous or something, her family actually owns a pretty run-down hotel called the Hopewell, which was really fancy in the 1920s. Scarlett has a really interesting family. Her parents run the hotel. She has a little sister Maureen, who's 11 years old and who battled with leukemia. Now, because of all of Marlene's medical bills, the whole family is broke at this point. And they all have to work at the crappy hotel, and no one ever comes and visits until Amy Amberson comes in, who's an old starlet who's trying to be an agent. Amy Amberson is absolutely insane. So she stays at the Hopewell, and Scarlett's sort of like her assistant, and then Scarlett ends up getting a job with her. Sort of work to bring up Spencer's career, who is Scarlett's older brother, who's 19 at the time. And Spencer wants to be an actor. So they put on this play Hamlet, which is a little off of normal Hamlet, and they put it on in the hotel, and the hotel makes lots of money, and Spencer gets some really good advertising from it. Scarlett also has another sister, Lola, who's a year younger than Spencer. She decided not to go to college to help out with the family, and she's really selfless and she does everything for the family. And we also meet Eric in this book, who is Spencer's friend, who also works on the Hamlet play. Scarlett finds out that Eric, who's from North Carolina and came up to learn how to act, has a girlfriend in North Carolina while he's hanging out and making out with Scarlett. Spencer's pissed, Spencer punches him in the face, Eric leaves, and Amy Amberson leaves. And that's kind of how Sweet Scarlett ends. Enter Scarlet Fever. First off though, a really fantastic book. Picks up right where Sweet Scarlett left off. Not the summer anymore, all of Scarlett's rich but kind friends are back for school in the fall, and Scarlett is kind of dealing with having a job at the Amy Amberson agency, AAA, not a car service. And Miss Amberson has decided to be Spencer's agent, so she's trying to get him at auditions after Hamlet has closed. Meanwhile, Eric at NYU for the fall, and him and Scarlett haven't really talked. Scarlett's decided to completely wash herself away with him, and it turns out to be a little more difficult than she thought. And then we have Spencer, who keeps going to auditions and failing. It's like the day of the sock. You'll know if you read this book. All of Spencer's confidence is gone until the Amy Amberson agency comes in and lands Spencer on audition for a really famous New York City TV show called Crime and Punishment, which is clearly based off of Law and Order. Maureen Johnson, if anyone knows, follows her on Twitter or anything, loves Law and Order like a drug. And in fact, in the back of the book, when she thanks people, she specifically calls out to Dick Wolf, who's the creator of Law & Order. He knows why. Call me Dick. And she puts a subnote. I mean you, Dick. Call me on the phone or some other telephonic device. Not please now refer to me as Dick. There are a lot of reasons for this, not the least of which is that I am female. Also, that would make my name Dick Johnson. I would never stoop so low as to make a joke like that. I have standards, you know. Fantastic book though. Basically, the new thing that happens in this book, Spencer kind of has to deal with being famous after he lands a certain gig, and Scarlett goes back to high school, and there's a new client at the Amy Amberson agency named Chelsea, who's Scarlett's age, and she has an older brother named Max who starts going to school with Scarlett, and they sort of start a thing. And so now Scarlett is sort of torn because Eric's back in her life, and now she has Max to deal with, and she also has to run the Amy Amberson agency, and she has all of her crazy family drama. And this book ends with absolutely Scarlett just torn, and we have no idea which boy she's going to pick, and we have no idea what's going to happen with her family. I don't want to give too much away, but oh my god, if you haven't, you need to read Sweet Scarlett, and if you have, you need to go pick up Scarlet Fever, because I'm telling you people, there's going to be a third one. There better be a third one, Maureen. I'm just like overwhelmed with happiness about how this series is turning out. I'm so excited it's a series too, and I cannot wait for The Last Little Blue Envelope, which is the sequel to 13 Little Blue Envelopes, which you should also read. Link in the sidebar to my old video where I talk all about Maureen Johnson's books. Read me!